Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha, and tonight we're going to be talking about Belle Collective. So OWN gave us a little sneak preview of what's to come January 15th, and I love how they do that. You know, Carlos King is bringing us some untapped territory. First we had Love and Marriage Huntsville. You know, he hung out over there, and now we're in the M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. That's right, Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. We got some ladies setting the scene on fire. I actually watched this preview and wrote down a few notes, and I wanted to bring it to you. So y'all let me know if you want me to keep reviewing this show when it actually does premiere, or if it's a flop. Is it a bop or is it a flop? Let's get into it. So they introduce us to the ladies. The first lady we meet is Tambria Cherie. I'm just going to give like a brief rundown of what I think of each lady and what I think of the show, and we're one and done, okay? So we got Tambria Cherie. She's like a full-time radio personality, wants to be a full-time personality, period. She looking for the Dish Nations and the E Hollywood and E Online and all the celebrity blogs. She's looking to do that kind of stuff. My first impression of her was she was a petite firecracker. She's pretty, she's outgoing, has an outgoing personality. Basically, big hair and big personality. That's what I got from her. Let's move on. Leticia Pearson, mom, entrepreneur, and CEO of these women's brunches, these women's empowerment brunches. And she so far is my favorite. And I feel like she's going to be the glue that holds the cast together. And I say that because I always got some cattiness going on, and we already seeing a little bit of it in the first episode. But what I wanted to say about Leticia Pearson is that, yes, she's a Southern belle. Yes, she's a sweet lady. But I don't trust that husband of hers, honey. So we see in her scene when they introduce her that she's sitting down and she's FaceTiming her husband. His name is Glenn. And she was saying that he's a towboater. Basically, he works offshore. If you're from the South, you already know what that's about. The men that work offshore, honey, they cannot be trusted. Okay? So she's on the FaceTime with him, and she's asking him if he's been good, and he's giving that generic Negro answer. What you talking about? Of course I'm being good. Can't be trusted. Okay? We're going to see how this plays out. She even said on the show, you know, they've had some infidelity issues, and, you know, they had to work through them. But my thought is, if you have to sit here and ask him if he's being good, that's something that I ask my small child when he's away. Are you being good for grandma? Okay, are you doing the right thing? Say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. Don't forget that. No, nobody got time for that. So the way he was answering those questions, I was having a few flashbacks because I've been there. And so I'm going to be watching him pretty closely. But in my opinion, just from that brief, you know how they say a first impression is everything. That first impression of him is F-boy personified. Let's move on. After that, we meet Latrice. And Latrice owns Goddess Length Virgin Hair, and she is doing it for herself, honey. Okay, she has one of the top bundle hair stores in Mississippi, in that region, and she also has her vending machines that she's put in all the malls across the country because of a viral video that was posted of her first vending machine going into a mall. And we see her, and she's young and cute. And then we see her husband, who I thought was her dad. Okay. He came in, you know, I bet he was kind of cute back in the day, but he's giving me, I found me a cute little thing, and I'm going to shadow her everywhere she goes type vibe. And one thing that threw me off about him is they were sitting down having a conversation, and she was saying how she was invited to this women's empowerment brunch by Leticia. And she was letting him know, you know, I don't really want to go because I heard that when you get there, they just break you down. It's not actually about lifting you up. So I feel like that's kind of fake. You're not empowering each other. You're just being fake. And this man had the audacity, the unmitigated gall, the gumption to come up out his mouth and say, oh, well, you should fit right in. Sir, what? Sir, what now? You do not get on in front of these cameras, okay? We done brought these cameras down to Mississippi. We finally got something down here to show, and you gonna get your grown behind on this camera and say I'm fake? You don't do that. I am your wife, okay? You ride for me, And when we're on this camera, I'm not fake. Now, what you say to me behind the scenes is one thing. But don't get on this camera calling me fake. I didn't like that. I ain't like that at all. I was like, okay. And she was even saying, I thought your husband was supposed to uplift you. Girl, he is. Okay? So, I mean, if you're fake, then what does that say about him? I'm just saying, I know he old school. Old school people be saying anything, girl. He almost to the age where you could say anything. You know how when you get much older, you just feel like now I could just say anything because I'm older? He's almost there. Let's move on. Then you have Marie Hamilton. And at first I was like, okay, Marie, bringing the mental health facilities for the people of color because, oftentimes we overlook our mental health, and it's always, most times, because of how we are feared to be perceived. In most families, if you do something that's not, in line with what they think you should be doing, or you do something out of the ordinary, or you say something like, I'm depressed, girl, you're crazy. You're just crazy. And I mean, it's such a stigma attached to mental health when it comes to the African American community. So the fact that she's bringing the mental health facilities there and, basically expanding. She has a partner and she's working on her PhD, and she wants to even open a sector for people who have people in their family that suffer from addiction. And she said that was inspired by her mom, because her mom is suffering from addiction at the moment. And one thing that I thought about when she said, I don't understand how my mom chose addiction over her kids. One thing about people who are addicted to a substance, that is a part of it's actually, I read this, okay? It's actually a part of their DNA, and it's a part of their brain that they can't turn off. They have that addictive personality. So it may not be that she didn't love you, and it actually was not a choice of hers. I'm just going to say that I feel like people with addiction, it's not their choice. It's just something that they cannot control. And eventually something clicks, and then they get the help that they need, and then they can come up out of it. But that's just my take on that. Then we meet Dr. Antoinette, or Antoinette, however you want to pronounce it. And she's a dentist. My first impression when she came across the screen is, okay, cute, young girl, little light-skinned thing, nice lace front. Okay, she was married, but now she's divorced. She was married to him for 3 years. And in the South, they love to marry you off young. And that's just a big thing that happens in the South. Although, I don't know if she's from the South, because she did a FaceTime with her dad and she said he was in a different state. So I don't know if she's from there and she came to Mississippi, or however that went. But she said she hadn't revealed to everybody that she's now divorced. So in her scene, you saw her meeting the contractor because she wants to open up a private practice, which I think is awesome. And she wants to call it Mint Dentistry. But she might want to check with the people in Houston, because there's a few Mint Dentistries here. And so I just want to make sure she don't get no trouble, honey. Everybody loves Sue. I'm just saying. So, you see her. But one thing I wrote down about her, messy boots, honey. She's a little messy thing, okay? Because when she met with Latrice, she told her, she put a little bug in her ear even before the brunch even happened. She was like, if you like cold wings, if you like cold waffles and dry wings, then this is the place for you. Like, don't do that. This lady is actually doing something to try to empower other women, which is rare, because all we see other women doing is what you're doing, being catty. Don't do that, okay? That ain't cute. You're a cute lady. You're educated. You're about to open your own practice. The last thing you need to do is get on here and portray yourself as the messy one, okay? So she put that bug in her ear, and then, later on they meet at this Porsche dealership, and she's like, what do you think the girl's gonna think when I pull up in a Porsche? That you pulled up in a Porsche? They are all successful, honey. And one of them, who I'm going to discuss a little later, honey, let you know she's rich, very rich, okay? Reminded me of Nene Leakes, honey. But they're all successful. So I don't know if you thought, I know you're trying to put a Band-Aid over the breakup and the divorce, but I felt like that was also a moment that could have been omitted. You didn't need to say that, because all of them are successful in their own right. Okay, after that, we meet Miss Marie. Okay. And well, no, we go back to Miss Marie, okay? Because now she's in a setting with her friends, and she starts talking about how she bought this wig and it's crunchy, okay? It's Captain Crunch, and she's trying to comb through it, and she's like, I bought this from Goddess Links, and I'm just trying to figure out why I spent so much money, honey, and this hair is crunchy. Okay, and she was like, so I'm going to see her at this brunch, and that's when I'm going to approach her about these crunchy bundles, okay, because they're like breaking and there's synthetic fibers all up and through. So had I wanted an outre wig, I would have purchased one, is basically what she was trying to say. So we get to the brunch, and the theme was Southern Belle. And so they all come in. And one thing I want to say, okay, before we get to the Southern brunch and them coming in, I want to say that this show is reminiscent of Real Housewives season 1, from the bad hair to the bad fashions. Okay. Now I know we in Mississippi, but y'all gonna have to come to this century with the confessional looks we had. One of them was looking like she was on her way to the prom. The other one, with the earrings and the hair from the 90s. Okay, we're going to have to get that together. Okay, so we go to the brunch. That's just a side note. We go to the brunch, and all the ladies are there, and then Marie comes in, and honey, she looks like a scene straight out of Gone with the Wind. Okay, she comes in, and little messy boots Antoinette, she's like, I look crazy, but I don't look like you. And I was looking over the table, and not everybody had on a fascinator. I saw a girl 2 seats down, and it looked like she had on a jean shirt and some just like some slacks or something. I don't know. I just felt like you were trying to have a moment, okay? Because that was unnecessary. She actually looked cute. I mean, it was real costumey. The women of reality TV love a good theme. I mean, i.e. Real Housewives of Atlanta. They love a themed party. Get into it. So they sit down, and then, it's time for them to start this brunch. And so my fave comes in so far, Leticia, and she's acknowledging all the ladies and thanking them for being there. And she asks them to hold out their mirror, and she wants them to say, girl, you poppin'. Okay. It seemed a little forced. It seemed weird. And I don't know if that's how the brunches usually go. And I don't know if that's not her strong suit. So that's why she wanted Tambria to actually be the host. But we're going to have to do a little bit better on that, because that could have just been, it might have been nerves, or it might have been the cameras are there. It could have been anything. But as we go on, Marie in her confessionals is talking about the fact that Antoinette and the other girl, I can't remember her name, child, it's escaping me. Hold on, because they knew, honey. Antoinette and Latrice, okay, they're having a conversation. They're real chatty, and they're talking amongst themselves. And then Latrice asked the girl on the side of Antoinette if she was wearing Goddess Links, and she said yes. And so that seemed like that was her cue to go in about this crunchy hair, okay? So we're supposed to be uplifting each other and empowering each other, and this lady picked right now to make a whole scene. So she proceeds to tell Latrice, I got this hair from Goddess Links, and I mean, I paid $600. Girl, right now, $600 that's not even a lot to pay for your bundles, okay? They charging $2,000 and $3,000 for a whole wig to be made. So you might want to check with those wig makers, because they might have switched your hair out. I'm just giving different scenarios. I'm just saying, because, she really tried to clown Latrice in that moment. But baby, Latrice was like, I'm not picking up what you putting down. That is not my hair. You went to the wrong store. We don't sell that kind of hair. We don't sell Captain Crunch. We sell Aquafina, okay? The bundles are flowing in the wind. I don't know where you got that from. Maybe, I just don't know. It's just not ours, okay? We don't claim it. And so they're arguing back and forth. And then, Leticia comes and sits down, and she feels it. And she's like, oh, this hair is stiff. This hair is terrible. And she's like, yes, I got it from Goddess Links. Now, you want to embarrass this girl and talk about her brand at a table full of women who are wearing hair extensions who could possibly be potential clients in front of all these women. You say this. So Latrice decided, I'm not about to let you clown me. Okay? Not today. So I'm going to get up and remove myself from this situation. And so she gets up and she's like, Antoinette, let's go. And of course, Antoinette and her rode together. They seem to be, the closest two of the bunch. So I'm thinking the cliques are Antoinette and Latrice, and then Leticia and Marie. And Tambria don't bother nobody. I'm thinking she just, just a little bit of a spark that they threw in there to kind of bind everybody together. So they both get up and they walk out, and Marie is still talking. She doing all that talking, and I'm thinking, girl, you might need some of the mental health services that you are providing, because this makes absolutely no sense. And that's how it wrapped up. But I forgot to add that Leticia actually brought them there for a purpose. She wanted to talk to them about buying back the block, and she wanted to talk to them about actually revamping a street called Ferris Street. She wanted to put more black owned businesses there, more restaurants, basically just revitalizing the area. They always gentrify our neighborhoods, and she wanted to be the first to do that. But we can't never get somewhere and act like we got some sense. So Marie stole that opportunity from her, so she was unable to do that. So we'll see as the season progresses if they're able to get it together, if they're able to all come together. I did see a few tears in the previews, and it seems like they came together as a sisterhood in the end. We will see. Now, I don't know if I'm going to continue to review this, but that's just my rundown of what I saw in this quick preview. You guys can comment down below and let me know what you think of this show. If you've watched it, you can catch the preview on OWN's YouTube channel. And tell me what you think. Comment down below if you think I should keep reviewing this, if this is something we're going to pass on. Just let me know, because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste mine. And that's all I have for you guys tonight, and I'm glad you joined me. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, share it. Child, keep coming back. And come on, y'all, hit this subscribe button. Your good sis is trying to get these subscribers up, okay? So I can stick around, okay? Because there's more to come. There's more to come. So I want you guys to join me each and every time I upload a video. Make sure you hit the notification bell. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.